I'm going to give Patrick Stewart the high wire act.
Este es el momento que estabas esperando. Así dice Hugh Jackman en la nueva cinta de The Greatest Showman, la cual promete ser un emocionante espectáculo visual. Así que mis queridos cinéfilos, acompáñenme en esta entrevista con su protagonista.
No one ever made a difference by being like everyone else.
Mis queridos cinéfilos, estoy súper contenta de estar frente a uno de los actores más talentosos y sobre todo más carismáticos que ustedes conocen y que yo conozco, Mr. Hugh Jackman. It is so nice finally meeting you.
Gracias, thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you. I have seen so many interviews with you, and I think you're like one of the nicest persons to be interviewed.
Let's see if I can show you the other side.
Have you ever been in the other?
No, but I did study to be a journalist.
Oh, okay.
And I graduated with a major in journalism.
Nice.
And was about to go out into the workforce and decided to just do a little bit of acting before I started. That was 26 years ago.
And I know you have like a lot of charisma, and I think you're super cool. But we have a movie where we have like misfits. We can say I've always been a misfit, I think. But have you ever been a misfit?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Everyone has been a misfit at some point in their life.
Yeah,
I felt like a misfit several times, particularly when I started acting.
Okay.
So I told you that acting course that I did for 1 year. So after I graduated with journalism, I went off to act. Everything I did felt wrong. Teachers would roll their eyes. One in particular really did not like me, and so then I tried harder, and then it got worse. Within 3 months, I felt like the dunce of the class. And what happens, it's a very lonely feeling, that feeling when you're in a group of 15 and you're like not doing so great. Everyone just distances themselves from you a little bit. And I remember feeling very lonely, and that was the beginning of my acting career. And I was just learning acting. A turning point was actually me just going, screw it, I'm not going to try and impress them.
That's nice.
And then weirdly, that's when they got impressed. So it was a good lesson.
That's really interesting, because I think that recently with I have a YouTube channel.
Yes.
And I think I kind of became obsessed with all the comments and what people wanted me to be like. And watching this film, I thought like, I think that the best idea is to be authentic.
Yes.
And we have a film critic on the movie, and I don't know, like you were speaking about this teacher you were trying to please, and she was rolling eyes. So how do you come to become like authentic in this industry when everyone's trying to shape you?
There's a few times for me that I've had real clarity of what to do. Like from my gut, I've got to do that. And I haven't always listened to it. Sometimes I haven't, and I've regretted it. Sometimes, thankfully more often I have. And when it works out, that is the greatest fuel you can have. When you genuinely have evidence that your gut instinct is the right thing for you. It may not be, like someone else may be right, like, you know, I think you should do this, I think you should do that, and you go, I need to do this. Is always the right choice. And I think for me, there's been several turning points where that's happened, luckily.
Okay, but it turned out well.
At the moment, I couldn't be happier.
Yes.
So it has turned out well. And you're right, it doesn't turn out well for everybody. Some people fall flat on their faces and never get back up again, you know, and just run from the business. That's why I like this character so much. Like, the first time he put on a show, it is the worst review that has ever been written. And the review we used is the real review.
Oh, really?
It didn't just say bad, criminal, degrading, a circus was what. And he had it reprinted in every newspaper in New York. So, talk about a fighter.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, because we don't want your broken
This is the life I promised you. I promised you a life of magic and wonder.
So we are in the circus. If you owned one and you have to put from the actors that you work with, like, I don't know, James McAvoy, Jennifer Lawrence, you have to give them an act. Which act would you give them?
I'm going to give Patrick Stewart the high wire act.
Alright.
Because no matter what age he is, he's got more courage. He's like a young man, let me tell you. Actually, McAvoy, you know, all those guys like Nick Holt, Jennifer Lawrence, Michael Fassbender, McAvoy, those guys are crazy. You know what I would do? I'd put them in a cage.
On a cage,
and just give them all like BB guns and let them fight each other because they love it. They would have a great time. Zach and Zendaya, I'm going to give them the job they have here. Both of them, they sing so incredibly well and they're just, and they really love an audience. You know what I mean? They're like connect.
If you could dream something up, what would it be?
A lion, an elephant, or a giant 10 feet tall.
Also, speaking of songs, which the film has great songs. I already downloaded every song.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna ask you 5 quick questions. It's more like the song you will sing when, okay? When you are feeling sad.
This is me.
When you are on a karaoke.
Never enough.
Never enough. Never enough.
Never enough?
Yeah, I'd have to have a few drinks first.
Yeah, when you're drunk.
Oh, right, there you go. Never enough.
When you're in love.
Rewrite the Stars.
What if we rewrite the stars? Say you were made to be mine.
Aww.
Yeah, it's a great love song.
Yeah, it is. It made me cry. And finally, to a mutant. Tough question.
From now on.
Well, thank you very much, and I love the film.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Nunca me cansaré de agradecerte tu constante apoyo, que es el que nos abre las puertas para generar este contenido original para ti, mi querido cinéfilo y cinéfila. Si te gustó esta entrevista con Hugh Jackman, no olvides darle like al video, compartirlo y en la descripción de este video te dejamos las redes sociales para que puedas escuchar el podcast de Fuera de Foco, seguirnos en Facebook, Instagram o en Twitter. Mi nombre es Mesa con Z. Adiós.